I really want to try and make suicide doors work. But I don't want to spend $400 for a kit because I looked. I certainly looked. $400 freaking dollars. Well, you could buy some cheap stuff for like $280, but that's still $300 after tax and shipping. I just can't do it. All right, is this my wife's truck? Yes, it absolutely is. But I have one rule in my house. Anything can be used for a project. I think I am gonna try and use these hinges. Try and make them suicide door things happen. We gotta figure something out, so we're gonna go for it. I don't know, do you think she'll notice? Is it obvious? I'm sure she'll probably notice. It's fine though. This idea came to me yesterday when I was out here putzing around, trying to figure this all out. And this is the hinge off the Chevy doors. If I make a pocket into here, and then bolt this flange right to the door, I think it'll work. We're gonna find out either way, because I want suicide doors. Cutoff wheels are expensive. Use them down to the very last little bit. What are the odds this is all gonna come apart? I soaked it all down yesterday, so that actually works pretty good. That didn't want to move yesterday. This PB Blaster, good stuff. That one came out. Some might say this is not the proper way to get this hinge out, but some might not. Either way, I win. This is the wife's truck's door. I should probably try to be a little nicer to it. I totally forgot I left vice grips out there. I've been looking for these. That came out way easier. Bingo, bango. Is this gonna work? I really don't know. But you've already seen me fail, and I'm not giving up. The worst case scenario, I gotta come up with plan C, I guess. Or no, wait, I think I'm on plan C, so it'd have to be plan D? Who knows? It'd be easier just to put the hinges back in and make that door work. I don't wanna do that. I got the driver's door hinges off the 51 Chevy truck. I'm gonna put on the passenger side of the 51 Ford car. That's what I'm gonna try. If you're watching this and you already know the outcome, why didn't you call a guy and say, hey, that's not gonna work? Nobody ever calls a guy and tells him it's not gonna work. The biggest thing I think we have to figure out is how that little, you can kind of see how it wraps around the door there, right here. I gotta make sure I get that same spacing set up in when it's installed, how there's like, I don't know, probably a ½ inch between the hinge and the door, right in here. I'm guessing that's needed for swing and everything else, so that's probably gonna be the most difficult part of this. If not, well then, boy am I gonna be surprised. I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. But we're gonna start. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I've scrounged around through my scrap bin. This is a plate for the bottom of a 2-wheel cart. It is, let's see here. It looks like 1/8 inch, but I must be starting to get old because everything's kind of blurring together and that's hard to read. It's 1/8 inch, I think. Maybe just a little over 1/16. It's really close to 1/8 inch. I just remembered I got this handy dandy gauge metal thingy bobber. It fits nice and snug in 12 gauge. So whatever that is what it is. Is it strong enough? I don't really know, but we're gonna use it anyways. Basically gonna cut a square out of it that this will fit into and this will bolt to, and then that is what I'll put in the car and weld into the door jamb here. Looking at it, there's some structure in the back, but I'm gonna have to cut a bunch of that out for this to all work. So I'm gonna have to rebuild I'm gonna have to rebuild structure back into the back of the door jamb. I I kind of thought I would, but I didn't know. I was hoping, you know, two-door would be strong. I don't know. I don't know. That's what we're doing. Amateur tip for you. If you're like me and always use used metal that's been used for other stuff and repurpose it, learn to clean it and grind the paint off and the rust off before you even do anything to it. But then you can mark it easier and you can see your mark. It's genius. And I'm gonna take the plasma cutter and cut, maybe the grinder. I don't know. I'm gonna cut it somehow, but I'm gonna have to weld it eventually so it's already got the paint off of it. Save yourself some time. Trust me. I probably wouldn't trust me either. We got that plate cut out. Kind of got it already pre-fitted in here just to kind of see how things are sitting. I gotta cut it out and redo it. I got a little too rushed on it, and it's not sitting flush where I want it. That's the general gist of where it's gonna go. I got it. It just went in and now it won't come out. Got it. You gotta know the secret combination. Gotta cut, there's a support in here on the back side, behind the pillar. We're gonna cut that out of the way and then continue to move forward. I probably can just cut this out for now, but I won't. I'll continue to struggle and climb over it. I am not forgetting my helmet. Got it. Okay. I am graceful. Yeah. As you can see in my haste, this is perfect, nice and flush. This is sticking out here. It's not flush there. And then up here, we're way underneath where it needs to be. This needs to come out a little bit. Come on, get on there. Sometimes I have a real hard time finding the hole on these things. Sometimes I have a hard time just holding these things. Oh, get it together, Simon. Let's get this done. Oh, now I dropped that. This is just a trick I've taught myself, and like it or not, it does the job. I'm doing my best to make sure I do this right, people. Whether it is right or not, that's another question for another day. But I'm doing my best to make sure it is. That's got to count for something. I'm probably going to have to twist this a little bit. We're just in the trial stage. So this is loosely tacked in here. I think it's level. It's kind of hard to get a level on it. But that's what I'm saying about this hinge. It's got a tweak in it, and that's designed to hold the door that it came off of. This door isn't that way, so I've either got to make the mount work like that on the door, or I've got to bring this and straighten it up to work with my door. That stuff's all got to be determined yet. We're just at step 32. That's probably step 184. I don't know. that is not working. So we're probably just gonna scratch the, don't you do it. Probably just gonna scratch that idea and make the mount work with what I got. Door's not fitting flush here. That was kind of expected because I gotta notch the inside of the door for that hinge to bolt to. So I should be able to mark it now though. Good thing I left my clamp way in there. That was really smart of me. If you're not gonna have help, you better have clamps. Here's what I'm dealing with. This is the hinge on the inside. And you can see it, she's sticking out. So we need to notch the door side and get that hinge to come back into it. Should be fine though. We should be able to make that work. I just marked it out and we'll just cut it. We'll just start cutting things until things fit. That's all there is to it. The door is fitting great. We're back where we're supposed to be. I mean, it's gonna take a little bit of tweaking to get it right where we want it, but we're getting there. That's how I got her notched out in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Wish my light would have been charged. That would have been helpful. Well, there we go. So I'm gonna try. I don't know if it's gonna work yet. Take a section of this angle iron. It's pretty stout. Set it in there so there's the flat on the bottom and the flat on the side, so it can bolt to that. And I'll do that on top and bottom, but reverse it. And then on the inside of the door frame, between the two, I can put some square tubing and like basically build some frame structure into the door. So that's bearing the weight, not the sheet metal of the inside of the door. Hopefully that makes sense, but I think that's what I'm doing. You might be asking yourself, is this the right way I can do mine? I don't know, probably not, but you know, give it a try. I don't know. This saw is freaking amazing, and it's cold to the touch, no heat. Like so. I went and tacked that angle iron to the hinge. Here, I'll show you. I mean, that worked. That way, I can have it at the right angle, everything, and get it figured out where everything needs to be. So when I start bolting it together, I can get the tacks cut off of there, and everything will be golden. We'll just make sure she's nice and cinched up tight. Just had the realization as I'm drilling the holes for this, the bolts I'm gonna put here, because obviously I want the hinge to be able to bolt in and out, might be sticking, the heads might stick out too far. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. One problem at a time. Perfect. All right, that was simple. I'm just gonna put a couple tacks on these nuts. That way they're locked in place. Now, with any luck, I didn't weld any of the nuts to the bolts. And if with even more luck, the door will still fit. So the door went back on, that's a good sign. Well, it's in the hole. I think I'm just gonna tack that angle iron to the door. I think so. That's what we're gonna do. I probably should be doing both hinges at the same time, but honestly, I want a proof of concept. I want to know that the way I'm figuring this out in my head and the way I want to do this hinge setup is actually gonna work, instead of going through all this effort on two hinges and have an epic fail like the last time. made these windows so small? Do you think those few tacks I got on there are gonna hold this door? Well, the answer is no. No, they're not. Those $400 hinge kits are looking mighty nice right now. It's gonna work! It's gonna work! It's fine. Everything's fine. It's obviously sagging because, well, it's only one hinge. We need to get the other one in there before this breaks. I just had the wrench in my hand and now I don't know where it went. I mean, like, literally, I literally just, oh, there it is. Ow. That actually worked. Well, I got this hinge tacked into place, and then I just tacked this pipe here just to see if there's any binding issues before I start trying to make the door work. And honestly, it doesn't bind at all. So I just wanted to make sure the hinges were on the same plane. Is that the right word? I don't know. I still don't know if they are, but this isn't binding. This opens and closes. So we're gonna move forward, cut that door, and make it all work. Right on the money. There you have it. There's some ugly tacks I put on there, but it's together. That's all I really wanted. So I could locate it, so I could drill holes, so I could mount this with bolts. Then I'll cut these welds, put it all back together. I haven't figured out how I'm gonna latch these yet. We'll get to that another day. I just wanna make them work. I'm gonna stop rambling now and get back to work. So I'm gonna drill some holes. Yay for drilling. Mother. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Used bolt bin for the win. Found some nuts. They're all different, but it won't matter, you won't see it. The crazy thing, yet not the surprising thing, I've already lost the other bolt since sitting here doing this project for the last 10 minutes. Not a freaking clue where it is. I don't see it anywhere. Everything's so hot. All right, we'll make that one. Ah, Simon, get it together. Let's put this door on and see how we look. I'm hoping for good things here, but we'll see what reality brings. Yeah, I'm trying to weld that blindly and it's not working. Will this work? We're hitting somewhere. I gotta get out and look. So I think this is gonna work. I'm just, problem we're having is there's so much flex in the B pillar that the door is sagging so much that it won't open. If I hold it up, it still won't open. The biggest problem so far is this trim's in the way. I suppose the door was never designed to open that way, so the trim wasn't supposed to be there. We're just gonna notch that back a couple inches. I'm not giving up. I think we're on the right track. There's so much flex on everything. I think that's the biggest problem. But check this out, it's working. I think this is gonna work. I just gotta, you know, stiffen everything up because everything is flexing in here. Heck yeah, that is awesome. It's so cool. Okay, I'll show you what I got done here. I built some bracing for the inside. I filled some holes. So we got this hinge all filled in here. So that actually turned out rather good actually. All the crappy looking tacks, I might grind them off. I might not, I'm not really sure. What else did I have to do? I had to make clearance for these bolt heads. I remember, pretty sure I said something about that these bolt heads are gonna be an issue, and well, they were. These ones were fine, but these ones were definitely an issue. I just took a ball bean hammer and just kind of smashed it down and made some clearance in there. Seemed like the easiest fix for that. And then we got some bracing in here. I got square tubing on the outside. I had to pie cut it to get it to follow the radius here, because there's a radius. I've got another one on the inside here. You can kind of see where it got the welds on it. This one is connected to this one, and then from there, I got a support to the fender, or the quarter panel. It's got a little give in it, but honestly, it's not bad. As long as people aren't, you know, reefing on it, she should hold up just fine. My goal is to get this cleaned up and making it looking nicer. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna run door panels or not, or what's gonna happen. I was glad I was able to leave my window regulator in there, because I still have visions of putting a window on that'll go up and down in here. Whether it happens or not, that's another question, but I have visions of it. Just trying to stay planned ahead a little bit. She's good to go. If you're looking for doing suicide doors on the cheap, that's how I did it. Is it perfect? No, not by a long shot, but I could have spent $400 on those other hinge kits and still not got it perfect. So I figure it's a win. I do have to get that lower hinge pin changed. It's just got too much slop in it. Look how much that moves. So the upper one needs it a little bit too, but that lower one's really bad. And well, I'm just too impatient to get those in before I finish doing the door, because I want to know that it works. And now that I know it works, we can do the other side. And the other hinges, those are actually in really good shape. So I'm not so worried about the pins on that one. Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling now. Thanks for watching. If you like what I'm doing, let me know down in the comments. Be sure to hit that like button, and come on, subscribe, why not? I mean, if you want to feel better about your cars, just watch what I'm doing to screw up mine. There you go, it's a win-win. Thanks for watching, see you next time.